Hey, Southwest Florida. It being the height of the dry season, wanted to talk to you about one of the most common things we hear this time of year, that being bearing failures, loud bearings, our pump is locked up, and pump's not moving water anymore, seal failures, etc. So let's get into it. Let's talk about noisy bearings real quick and why that happens. As you can see, the shaft of this motor is rusted, and inside, the entire armature, the rotor is rusted. If we look in here, we can see that front bearing behind this end bell is rusted. This motor is eating itself from the inside out. How does that happen? This is the mechanical seal. You have a base and a rotating assembly. This ceramic base sits inside the seal plate in that seat. The rotating assembly, the carbon, meets with the ceramic and forms a watertight seal. What can happen sometimes when you run the pump dry and there isn't any water moving through the pump, the seal can spin. When that seal spins, it damages the seat for the seal in the seal plate, giving water a conduit into the motor. It's also possible the bellows of the rotating assembly could become warped and damaged. Now that's a pretty dramatic example of what could happen if you let your pump run dry. It doesn't take very long for pump parts to get damaged, and it does not take long at all for seals to warp. It's absolutely critical to make sure that your strainer basket is full of water every time it turns on. Now, it's not uncommon to see little air bubbles here and there, and that's not really a huge concern. However, if you can see water flowing in from the suction part of the pump, or even if the water isn't fully all the way to the top continuously, that could be an indication of a problem. A little bit of air under the lid isn't going to hurt anything. What does hurt is when you have continuous tiny champagne bubbles, as I like to call them, coming out of your jets, or if the first thing in the morning your pump is running dry, there's no water under the strainer basket and you get a big rush of air bubbles. This isn't going to fix itself, it's only going to get worse, and as we saw, it can cause some pretty severe problems with your equipment. So I strongly encourage you to get that checked out and corrected ASAP. I hope you found this information helpful, and if there's something else you'd like to know about, please let me know. Thanks.